And we're going to talk about a couple coaches who are on the hot seat after week 5, but the two main important coaches in this, the bigger jobs, right? Also, they face off against each other in one of the biggest rivalry games in college football. And that, of course, is the Red River Rivalry. Now, this could be the last time we see Charlie Strong and Bob Stoops coach against each other in the Red River Rivalry. And again, this is a great game, arguably one of the best rivalry games in college football. I know people can say Alabama-Auburn, but historically, you look at it and who's come out of this these games. Texas-Oklahoma, personal favorite. Now, you have so much uncertainty with Strong at Texas, Stoops at Oklahoma now. Now, for Texas, this year, it started off strong, right? The hype train really got going. They went from unranked to getting a big W over Notre Dame, which we'll talk about that in just a second, and just shooting straight up to number 11. Now, that's where I had a problem. And, of course, I become the Texas hater at that point. But we've seen the Fighting Irish, they've kind of fallen off the map. And Texas, really, they can't stop a middle school offense right now. So now that the Texas hype train has come to a halt right now, it might come to a derail with a loss to Oklahoma. Now, sources have said that they won't make a move on Strong until the season's over with. That's also been conflicting with another source who said that the boosters, well, you know, they're just about ready, especially if Oklahoma beats Texas, that they are going to go ahead and get that $100 million that they had ready for Nick Saban. They're going to give it to a guy named Tom Herman. That's right. Now, with it looking more and more likely that the Big 12 will not expand, with multiple teams just saying they're going to vote no, and also just more of them just not even wanting to expand at all completely anyways, you know, with $10 million a year and the title of being the head coach at Texas, you know, give Tom Herman saying, hey, I'm going to go ahead and go. Houston, he would have got a $5 million bonus had they gone into a Power 5 conference. Not looking likely now. If he gets in the playoffs, he gets a couple more $1 million, but he'll still be back the next season with the same group of 5 thing. Does he make the move? Now, obviously, Herman's the top dog in all of this, but that is something Texas might look at. Oklahoma, on the Sooner side, we have Bob Stoops, who got a big win over my beloved TCU Horned Frogs, but almost gave up a 42-3 run that they were on between the second and third quarters, late into the fourth. And I won't go into the coulda, woulda, shoulda, and I won't be biased here, but the officiating late in the game of the TCU-Oklahoma game was very questionable, we'll say. That's it. Now, I can call out the referees if I wanted. You know, I'm not going to get fined like, you know, Gary Patterson or any of the other coaches would be. But I'm just saying. Now, either way, Stoops has bought himself a couple other weeks, right? A couple extra weeks. But is that really true if he ends up losing to Texas for the third, or actually this would be the fourth straight year? They lost in 2013, 2014, and 2015. If they lose in 2016, 4 straight years to Texas, is that enough to say, bye, Stoops? Now, you look at other rivalries, especially in the past, we've seen where if you couldn't beat your main rival, you were gone. Ohio State, Michigan, you couldn't beat the other team, you were gone. Auburn, Alabama's been kind of one-sided, and, you know, Auburn's just kind of sees as Alabama's a big dog. They're not going to fire their coach for losing multiple times, but could we see Bob Stoops getting fired? Now, I'm not saying in midseason. I don't think they fire him midseason at all. After the season, we could see that. Now, a lot of people have said that, you know, he has not won a big game. It's been several years since he's won that major game. And they go all the way back to when they went to the national championship that year with Sam Bradford, but ended up losing to Timothy Tebow and Florida Gators. So Oklahoma, their schedule looks like this. After Texas, they have Kansas State at home, at Texas Tech, Kansas at home, at Iowa State, Baylor at home, at West Virginia, and in Oklahoma State. Now, me looking at it, I see 3 guaranteed wins. Kansas State, Kansas, and Iowa State. But Texas Tech and West Virginia, those could be letdowns, both on the road. Tech has a good offense. West Virginia, kind of just solid all the way around. I know they haven't played the best of teams, but they're solid. Now, Baylor and Oklahoma State at home, they're W's on paper, but Baylor looks like they should be all right, and Oklahoma State looking good as well, and that's the last game of the season. Now, if Stoops goes 7-5, is that enough to keep his job? I don't know. I don't know. It brings up a serious question of Oklahoma lets Bob Stoops go. Texas on the other side, they have Iowa State at Kansas State, Baylor at home, at Tech, West Virginia at home, at Kansas, and then TCU. Now, I'm not trying to hate on Texas, but I honestly just see Kansas as a guaranteed win. And you look at that schedule, I mean, most likely they should beat Iowa State, but we saw what Iowa State did with Baylor. Should have won that game. Now, I see Texas losing to Baylor, Tech, West Virginia, and most likely Kansas State. Sadly, I don't feel that good about my TCU Horned Frogs. We're kind of in the same boat as Texas. We got, except we have a better offense, but defensively, just as bad. Missed tackles after missed tackles, missed assignments, not being aligned. It's all bad. So that game's really a toss-up. But if Texas goes 4-8 this season, Strong is gone. Absolutely 100% he's gone. He's gone right now in a lot of people's minds. I like Charlie Strong. I thought he was going to be able to bring Texas back to top 5 powerhouse all over again like they used to be. But I don't see Texas giving him another year if he goes under 500 again this season. I wish the best for Charlie Strong. I hope it works out. I don't want him to beat TCU. That's one thing. If that game is the consideration for him keeping his job, sorry, Strong, you're gone. I love my TCU Frogs way too much.